Hello and welcome to another episode of the AutoTrader Podcast. My ears were blown. My name is Wandile Sishi.
Well, you and mine both, and my name is George Mienie.
Yeah, it was crazy. These producers, George, we have to do something about it. I mean,
I think we should put the knobs here.
we should put all the knobs over here. How was your weekend? And did you enjoy the Monza Grand Prix? I mean, this was historically your favorite.
I did.
Your home race historically, at least.
Historically, yes. I did, except when Verstappen overtook Sainz. Then I was like,
Everything was like, yes. Then no.
There's
Not
a fight
again.
going on here. Not again. He's sliding around the track. Rubbish, man. You're just playing mind games.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't see the sliding, but I'm also not a driver. And I was watching a video of Ayrton Senna when he was busy talking about a crash that he had. And the team principal was like, why did you crash the car? And he's like, I think the wall moved. And no one believed him. And then they looked at the footage and the wall actually did move.
How did the wall, the tire wall?
Yeah, like a little, like it wasn't an actual wall. It was one of them tire walls or one of the, yeah. And because the drivers are so precise, they can see like millimeter differences. And that was the difference between the crash. So who knows? Maybe he's, maybe he did see that his tires were getting terrible.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? He is a good driver. You can't take that away from him. He's a really good driver. It's just the precision is a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
The precision's a real problem. It's like
the fact that Perez came second tells you everything you need to know about that vehicle. It's so fast. I think it's one of the greatest built F1 cars of all time. So yeah, I mean, incredible stuff. Ferrari fighting, come on. I think Charles should have just chilled a little bit and let Sainz carry the flag. So I think that was sad.
Well, yeah, that depends on the points position, right?
Yeah. So, but Ferrari is a team, they don't do driver. It's not about the driver, it's about the team.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But so would you want your driver to come second in the World Championship?
Versus constructor, like getting constructor.
No, they were going to constructor there anyway.
Yeah, it was still 3 and 4 rides.
So I would put the driver ahead.
Who's fastest?
No, who's going to come second in the points?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So that's how I would have made the decision if I was Ferrari. Is I would have said, okay, Leclerc's got the most points here. He stands the best chance of coming in the top 3.
But as a leader of a business, don't you think that would...
Here we go.
I know, I'm going down a tangent right now. I'm going down a road. Don't you think that ensuring that the mentality... Because I can promise you now, Sainz does not want to be playing second fiddle. The fact that he won P1, should you not also nurture that relationship and give him the opportunity to, I don't know, to show his stuff? If you were the team principal of Ferrari, in that scenario, like how do you weigh?
Suck it up, Buttercup. Like life is not fair.
Yeah.
We can't, like, life is just not fair.
Yeah.
Business is not fair, and that's the way it's designed.
Yeah.
If you are better,
Yeah.
then you're better.
Then you're better.
Okay, and the scorecard for F1 is the points,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
It is the cumulative points you get over an entire 12-month period. So Leclerc has got more points than Sainz, the last time I checked anyway. Does he?
So no, Sainz is actually ahead of him by like 6 points.
No, then my argument's the other way around.
Yeah.
So,
It's
only
close.
after the
only
race?
after the race, yeah. So I mean, it's so close.
But you see my
I
point.
completely
though.
understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it meant that Leclerc was going to get a better shot at coming in the top 3 at the end,
Let him go, and he was moving faster.
I would have just switched the two.
Yeah.
It's like it's a shame. Sainz's feelings going to be hurt.
Yeah. I mean,
like leadership is not that for me. That's weak. That's weak. And leadership is not about favoring the underdog.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about. It's about winning.
It's about winning. 100%.
It's about winning 100%. And having fun getting there.
Yeah.
and let me not going down on a tangent. But it's the 7th place trophy problem that we have in our current school system.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're not coming first, you're not winning.
Second place is as good as last. Really.
Yes. So no, I don't shame.
Yeah.
Science could have cried. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're big boys. I think they, it's part of the game.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. But Sonoda's car breakdown was sad because
it's like the third time this season. It's crazy. Yeah. Hamilton came 6th, so I have to throw in his name every single time. It was sad that his little crash with Piastri, but ultimately it was a good race. I mean, I think we have to get used to like Max winning and just enjoying the rest of the kind of what's going on in the rest of the grid.
I can't get used to him winning all the time.
Nobody can, but I don't think he cares. Anyways, moving on.
If I was a Red Bull fan, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's not take it away from him. He's a good driver.
He's a good driver.
He's a really good driver. What's happening to your boy?
He came 6th and he crashed into Oscar. So, you'll be back.
Got a 5-second penalty.
Got a 5-second penalty. So,
is Russell better than him?
No.
Seems to be that way.
What
do the points say?
The points say that Hamilton is better. And the championships also say Hamilton is better. So
drivers. What are the drivers' points?
So Hamilton's currently on 164 and Russell, I know that number by heart.
Driver standings, here we go. So
Russell's 109. So
Hamilton is 4th.
Hamilton's 4th and Russell's 7th.
Yeah. So Science has now pipped Leclerc. But I think that was a mistake because Leclerc would have been, if that was switched, Leclerc would have had more than 117 points.
Yeah.
So Ferrari's drivers would have got more points.
Yeah.
Russell 109. Okay. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
4th place trophy.
You had to find a way then. I was ready. Moving on. It's finally spring, George. It's finally spring.
Well, that's why I got the hat.
That's why you got the hat. Actually, yeah, we didn't even,
because I always wear black, so I thought I'd,
I thought you were like impersonating.
I'd throw a flower on my head.
Or something. No, it's not for Michael Jackson appreciation.
I love Michael Jackson, by the way.
Me too. So much uncovered.
Loved Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He is no longer.
But it's finally spring. Yesterday, actually, funny story, is the first day I was able to open my windows in my room while I slept. In a very long time. So that was
able to, as in not
like let the air
cold.
come in, yeah.
Okay.
So it was cool to finally get to this point where it's not cold anymore. And in reference to that, we're going to be talking about some of the things that you need to do coming into spring, because your car is not going to be the same as a result of winter. So I thought maybe we can just talk about some tips and trips to keep your car intact, and then talk about the joys of a convertible, if you're a fan of convertibles. And then a very interesting article, but we'll talk about that if we get there, because I want to get your opinion on it. But winter, right? We spoke about the wear and tear of winter. Off the top of your head, what are the biggest things that you think a car would have been like really feeling as a result of winter that as a driver you need to look out for?
The first thing that's going to go during the winter period is going to be your 12-volt battery. Winter has a massive impact on batteries in general, but if your battery is going to go, it's going to be during winter. So if your battery hasn't gone during winter and you haven't replaced it yet, chances are it might be on its way out after winter. So go and do a load test on your battery.
I was about to say, what are the first signs of a weaker battery?
Cars, so when you start it, the engine turns slower.
Okay.
And like you were saying earlier on about the drivers, they can pick up
certain things.
So, you can instinctively pick up things. You can pick up as a human. You can pick up if your engine is turning slower when it starts. That's the first sign, is the engine turns slower because the battery's lost a bit of power. A warning light obviously is a
surefire way
to know, but then it's probably too late anyway. Best way, if you think there's a battery problem, is go to your nearest battery center they can do a load test on your battery.
This isn't like product placement for the.
No. We're not being
battery
paid by
sensor.
Battery Center. Trust me.
But
We're not.
any sort of battery,
Yeah.
wherever they do batteries.
The Battery Center is the first one that came to mind. Like AutoTrader is the first one that comes to mind. So,
Yeah.
go and do a load test on your battery. It's quite easy. There's 2 clamps on it. Don't have to take anything apart.
Yeah.
They crank up the amperage and they watch the voltage. That's how a battery load test works. If your battery drops below, I'd say 11 to 12 volts with maximum load, if it can't hold that voltage, then the battery needs to be replaced.
So I recently went through this. I just changed my battery about 2 months ago, and for me it was one, my car started making weird noises, and
Weird noises from the battery.
well, the battery was impacting some other sort of electrical work that the car was having. So that, and also my stop-start stopped working. My stop-start feature. So,
Okay.
so that's also another way. If you do have a car that has a stop-start feature,
That's
then-
interesting. I didn't know that.
What about like EVs? I mean, I'm assuming the battery situation is going to be like quadrupled in a scenario where you have an electric vehicle during winter.
No. So there's a couple of things to understand about an EV. First of all, the main battery, the lithium-ion battery that is part of the structural part of the floor, right? That battery does not power much more than the electric motors.
Oh, okay.
It's 400 volts.
Do you have a separate battery that's going to power like the electrical?
So it's about the voltage.
Okay.
So electronics in your car run on 12 volts.
Yeah.
Okay. Thin wires, very little chance of burning, heat, that kind of thing, because it's 12 volts. The lithium-ion battery in an electric car is 400 volts. Almost 2 times that.
Blow
comes
your
out the
instruments
plug.
if it comes from.
For sure. So it doesn't run. It only runs the high voltage system.
Yeah.
It does charge the 12-volt battery though. So you've got either 1 or 2 normal antiquated car 12-volt batteries in an electric car as well. It sits in the bonnet. And that is susceptible to all of the problems that an ICE vehicle has. I can't understand, as a matter of fact, why EV makers have put either gel or lead acid battery in such a 21st century sophisticated car. I don't know the answer to that.
Instead of what? Like what would be the alternative to that?
12-volt lithium
a
ion.
lithium ion. Okay. Instead of the old school.
Charges quicker, it's more efficient, but it might add to weight and it might add to cost. So that could be the reason.
Yeah.
But to have a old school 12-volt battery in there.
Cost and weight. I mean, at that scale, is it going to be significantly heavier than a traditional car battery?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked into those numbers, but
yeah, I'd be interested to know.
you know, a lead acid battery's got lead inside.
That's heavy.
That's heavy stuff, that.
Yeah,
You know.
for sure.
So so I don't know. I mean, my iPace has a traditional 12-volt, two what they call auxiliary batteries. And as a matter of fact, my car's in the dealership right now because
It's because of battery problems.
of that battery problem. Yes.
The auxiliary battery
The
problem.
auxiliary battery problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's because it's with spring now.
the
You know,
trouble with the electric car,
Yeah.
right, is when that auxiliary battery goes, the car stops.
Can't start it.
You
I'm
can't
assuming.
start it because it has to give some signal to.
I mean, that's any car though, no? In that scenario, do you
Pretty
just call
much.
Land Rover and they come and just, kind of jump specifically
they can
that
jump
battery?
it. Yes.
Okay.
I want to actually learn how to jump it myself
Yeah.
because you can keep a booster in the boot.
Good, yeah.
And it's a very good idea. As a matter of fact, there is a booster that I bought a while ago as a gift for somebody. It's little, and it's probably the size of a brick. It's got 2 probes on it,
Yeah, I think I have seen.
and you can jumpstart a car with that.
I have actually seen that before, yeah.
Very good idea to keep that thing in your. Here we go. Intelligent. No, that's the battery charger. Jumpstart.
I've seen like a little pad thing. It's not even, it's smaller.
Yeah.
It's much smaller
It's
than
on Takealot.
Yeah.
This one that I'm talking about is 879 Rand. And
You can just jump your car without having to wait and do the whole.
Yeah. So if the producers can look up the 12,000 milliamp hour car jump start and portable external battery charger,
Yeah.
and stick it up on the screen, it's on Takealot for 879 rand.
And this basically isn't the same tradition. It's not like carrying a backup. It's not a backup battery. It's just a.
It's just a jump start, and you can charge your phone off. It's got USB ports. There's 12,000 milliamp hours, so it gives it can get you out of trouble. And I want to put one of those in my car because I've had now this auxiliary battery issue twice.
Yeah.
So
definitely think about it. I mean, there's other issues that come as a result of winter. We've spoken about it. Actually, we had a winter.
So tire
episode.
pressures.
Tire
Pressures. You should check regularly, but going into winter, remember when the air cools down, it's denser.
So the air doesn't move as much. I'm assuming. Like, what's gonna?
Well, your tire pressure is going to change.
Yeah, it's gonna be less. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the denser the air, the more compact the particles.
So
So
compresses your tire. Substantially.
So,
what impacts will that have on the rubber, though? Do you think it's going to have more tire wear?
well, remember the colder your tire, the harder it is. I don't think it's going to have a significant impact, and it's not going to be a major issue because these tire companies have made the rubbers like really efficient.
Yeah.
But your tire is going to be harder. I don't think it makes a big difference. But definitely tire pressure, because air is very susceptible to the amount of space it takes up in hot and cold conditions.
We know also in winter the fluids that your car runs on get impacted quite a lot as well. But I'm not too sure if the change of seasonality is going to cause you to have to go and like check them, for instance.
If you don't use antifreeze in your car, there could be an impact.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you got antifreeze in the water in your car. The oil's not going to really make a massive impact. What you shouldn't have done in winter is started your car and driven like a bat out of hell because the oil's not.
It's not warm enough.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should have told me that earlier.
You're just going to damage your engine.
100%. Things that you should look out for coming into spring, though, is obviously the tire inspection. We've already spoken about that. Wheel alignment. We've spoken about what's the battery situation. Wiper blades. That's one which
wiper blades is also
I've slept on that one a little bit.
It's wiper blades could get impacted they could crack.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like a tire. Tire's thick. It's really well designed rubber, whereas your wiper blade's very thin piece of either rubber or silicone or whatever they make it out of nowadays. That could be impacted by severe change in temperature.
100%. And then the last one that I want to
check your wiper blades.
Yeah, for sure. The last one I want to just spotlight is really what's it called now? Like the air filters and the air conditioning. You lose a lot more of your you use a lot of your heating in winter, but I don't know what's the impact on that on cooling in terms of will your car be able to sort of
I mean I think cars are efficient today. There's very few things that you need to worry about. I mean, most cars nowadays the aircon's running all the time. People aren't switching back in the old days. Switch the aircon on, switch it off.
Knobs, you had
it's
very obvious.
Physically switch it on.
Yeah.
Whereas now, literally, the climate control manages itself.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything you need to concern yourself about, unless your car's like really old.
Yeah, for sure. But
because I don't know whether do they use Freon gas in aircons nowadays? Freon, I think Freon gas was the ozone unfriendly version.
Freon gas, what is that? Is that what you find in like your air conditioning?
Yes, it was the gas in air conditioning. It's a non-flammable, low toxicity gas.
Yeah, I don't think that's it's before my time. That one, Freon gas.
Freon gas contains chlorine atoms. The chlorine separated from the freon by ultraviolet light makes chemical bonding with the ozone.
Yeah, we don't use that anymore, I'm assuming.
I don't think we use this anymore. Yeah.
But ultimately, please just go get your car checked. It's just safety.
So it was this freon gas that caused the hole in the ozone, which results in ozone destroy and generates ozone holes in space.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know how impactful
we used to use freon gas in aircons. We don't anymore.
Fair enough. Yeah. What's his name? We spoke about him last week. He did I think he was the president of the United States, the climate change guy. What's his name?
The current president of the United States.
Not Biden.
Oh, I was like the guy that can't walk.
Not him. I'll find the name. Anyways, moving on. George. The joys of convertibles. Mix the two together there. Do you like convertibles? Have you ever what are your thoughts on convertibles? Personally, I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan of convertible.
Yeah.
I don't like I like the serene cabin. That's why I like my electric car so much.
Yeah.
I like it to be wind free.
Okay.
And you can't get that in I don't see the point of a convertible.
I only like a convertible if it's a hard top. I don't like it when it's got that I don't even know what fabric that is. That black fabric that they use.
But when that's up, it's not a convertible.
Yeah, but I like the option. I like to if I had to get a convertible, it would have to be a hard top where I have the option of being a little bit more discreet in terms of what I do on the weekends. I prefer that. Specifically in a sports car. It's never been.
No, I'm not a big convertible fan.
I wonder how many convertibles are on site. But right now it is spring, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of people. I mean, I was in Cape Town this past weekend, and I saw an R8 with the top down, and it looked really nice. I won't lie. But for me, I don't know. I've never been into
I always wonder with smash and grabs and
in South Africa,
hijacking.
Convertible
You probably stop at a traffic light and you suddenly got a passenger.
Yeah. Guy just jumps in. He's
where
like,
we
drive.
going?
I got a getaway driver. When you hijack with the hijacker.
No, not even a getaway. It's just somebody catching a lift. Jumps in the car. And
I wonder if that's happened before. I wonder what the rates of people getting.
You've seen Bucky stop at a traffic light, right?
Yep.
And you get dudes that can we get a lift on the back? And then I've seen 2-3 people pile in there, and they just go a couple of kilometers down the road, jump off at the next traffic light. So
what do you do if someone just hops in your convertible while you down the road? It's South Africa. There are crazies out there. There are people who would. I'm interested to see if convertibles get hijacked less or more than the typical car.
Yeah, I mean hijacking
in relation to demand, of course.
Hijacking is a targeted thing, and I don't think convertibles are that popular.
Yeah,
to be honest. So you're not probably going to get the passenger more than you're going to get hijacked.
It's like, give me your stuff instead of give me your car. 100%. I mean, there are some benefits to convertibles. The open air driving experience. Have you ever driven around in a convertible?
Yeah. I've driven the Mercedes-Benz SLK convertible.
Yeah,
it's a hardtop convertible.
Hair in the wind, afro in the wind, I guess.
Yeah, my afro. So no, it's not my favorite thing.
Yeah, but versatility. That's something that came up when I was busy doing some research. Is a convertible versatile? I don't know about that. I think it's versatile in the sense that if it's hot, it's a little bit more versatile than, Yeah,
your head gets burnt if you're bald.
Yeah, it's not versatility. You need to put on extra Vaseline.
Vaseline? You mean sunscreen?
I have no idea what you would put on. I've never been bald.
Vaseline.
First thing that came to mind is put on the Vaseline, protect the dome, and you'll be good to go. Some people find them stylish. They are stylish. Let's not fight them, especially like a Cobra, for instance.
No, I mean, yeah, Cobra. Spot on.
Cobra.
Spot on.
That's the only car that should ever be a convertible.
That car can't be a closed top.
Yeah, that one has to be.
It has to be open, but that's different though. That's like proper go-kart stuff.
Yeah.
That a Lotus 7.
Yeah, of course.
Lotus 7 or Caterham.
So we can agree that there are cars which should be convertibles and others that shouldn't be convertibles.
Yes.
I remember seeing an SUV convertible.
When you're driving like if I fly my microlight, for instance, open cockpit.
Yeah.
I can't have that thing closed cockpit.
Yeah.
If I fly my closed cockpit airplane, I love it because it's closed up.
Two different purposes ultimately.
Two different experiences.
Yeah, for sure. How do you feel about SUV convertibles?
I don't know if I've ever seen one.
You probably have. I think the Evoque at one point.
Yes, you're right.
The Evoque had a.
That's just dumb.
That's a convertible. Yeah, I remember when
that's like trying to be too much.
You're doing everything at that point.
No,
SUV, You got the right height.
I was trying to be a sprinter, bodybuilder.
You're an Iron Man, basically. You're doing it all.
They're trying to be all things. Trying to be all things to all people.
So you're not a fan of SUV convertibles. That's where we draw the line there.
I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan of convertibles per se.
Okay.
Except in the AC Cobra, Caterham, Lotus 7 sort of world.
They do sound nice. I want like a sports convertible, specifically like a V10.
Low on the ground, go-kart style, really powerful engine.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Tell us if you're wrong. Tell us what's your perception of convertibles. But we still on the fence about it.
Like and subscribe while you do that.
Like and subscribe whilst you also tell us how you feel about it. And that's pretty much all the time we have for today, George.
Thanks, Wendy.
See you next week.
Ciao.
Don't forget the Vaseline on the door.